you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.
Secret silence speaking up towards Mother Earth. And you belong with me. Every single flower that you spring, you were the right one for the job. But you
Beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? It's wonderful, wonderful feel-good music for you. Brought to you by GregKasper. This is On Your Side. The song is On Your Side. And Greg, thankfully, thank you, is here with us. Hi Greg, how's it going?
Hey, Antoine, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. We appreciate so much that you're making the time. This is a wonderful, wonderful writing. This song is splendid. What is your part? Please tell us everything about your music, yourself as a musician, your influences. Just please take the floor and introduce yourself.
Sure. Name's GregKasper. I originally started playing when I was about 10 years old. Just picked up an acoustic and been playing a lot of Beatles songs, learning from chord books, and ever since then I was just really loving to write songs. Overall, I consider myself a songwriter. That's the most fun part for me, absolutely. Just basically I formed a little band with my friends, a little garage band, and we played, fifth grade all the way through high school together in this band called Something's Not Right. And wrote a bunch of songs together, released a couple albums, and after that I wanted to sort of start releasing stuff on my own, more acoustic stuff, more indie pop, indie folk. So ever since I'd recently released 2020 Chaos Queen, I've been releasing stuff by myself, recording it, and having my friend Sal help me mix and master it.
Sounds fantastic. So this is all you. Everything we hear is your writing, this is your guitar. It's all you.
So I'm playing acoustic on the track. I'm doing the picking. I have a double of my voice to get this nice, one of my biggest influences like Elliott Smith, Sufjan Stevens, Bright Eyes. I like to get that kind of ethereal, spooky sound out of the vocals. I'd record all the instruments myself actually in my living room. So just using this baby blue bottle mic.
Wow. You wouldn't tell. I mean, it's a proper studio-like production, really. I really like the way you double your voice. In panoramics. How did you learn this technique, or were you influenced by any particular production that you like? Tell us a little bit of the details of that.
Oh, absolutely. I know John Lennon used to do it. I think more because he didn't like his own voice, so he would have Paul double. or he'd double himself. And I know Elliott Smith did it. I think, Kurt Cobain in Nirvana did that type of doubling. Sufjan Stevens, I think, might do it as well. I think it really creates a unique sound. I think, and as well there's something to it, as a vocalist, when it's just a plain vocal track and you're singing, it can get a bit intimidating just to hear your own voice out there. But when you double it, you're creating just this more, 3D, more, I like to look at it as like ethereal, a little spooky, or just like interesting sounding vocal that takes up a little more space. So, it's just a sound that I've always loved. So I wanted to try and imitate it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I would mention the same artists that you were thinking of in doing this type of technique. But I think there's something behind very interesting to mention, which is acceptance. You as an artist, as vocalist, hearing your own voice and, like you said, not really liking it the way that it is. What do you have to comment on that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'll tell you how you spend so much time just recording the same thing over and over again, and as a songwriter, it's so difficult to get the sound that's in your head out into the microphone and then into this. I use Studio One, and it's never quite the way you want it to sound. Sometimes you get real close, and I think on your side there are parts of it where I'm like, this is what I heard in my head. But also there's a certain, like, I don't want to say like death to a song, but like when you record it and you create it, like the song kind of, like the songwriting part of it ends and you've created this product that speaks for it. And I think sometimes it's just really difficult to get everything you want in there, and it can be quite a frustrating process. But overall, I love it. I just trying all these different things, doing everything I can, using, and in the song Torches, I was trying to get an organ sound, and I just ended up using like 3 harmonicas and like putting weird pedals on them to create it. And it's just, just playing with different things and it's being creative, having fun.
That's very creative, yeah. I never thought of that. I don't have an organ, I got to work with what I have. I'm in my living room. I only have so many instruments, and so it's sometimes you got to get weird with it to really create the sound you want. I love that. I heard the instances of somebody using a door slamming instead of a snare for a sound recording. Yeah, this is when it gets really interesting, really creative. I love it. I really, really like it. So, okay. How many songs have you released, and tell us about that. What is the extent of your production?
Sure. So I recently, in 2020, I released my first EP by myself, which was Chaos Queen, and that I recorded, and then my buddy Sal Sula, who's also in the band Spirit Waker, he did the mixing and mastering for it. He helped me out a lot, just in teaching me all these different things. So Chaos Queen, and then after that, I released a bunch of singles. My most recent single actually just released last weekend, which is Like a Secret in My Head. And that I would say is my most, I consider myself like indie, but I guess like pop song that I've ever released in terms of like stylistically how it's produced. But yeah, I'm just like having fun trying out all these different styles. Like I released a single called Pink Line, which I thought was a little grungy.
Nice.
Just trying out different things, trying to expand what I can do that's not just necessarily like indie folk, just an acoustic and a vocal. But I do always fall back on that acoustic and sad acoustic sounds and vocals is usually what I tend to fall back on. So it's my favorite thing to play.
if that is the way that you feel more truthfully yourself, fantastic. That's really, I think that's what your audience would like from you, right? To be in your best self.
Absolutely, yeah. It's, trying to keep it authentic and to how I want it to sound, and basically just trying to have fun with it, because recording can be such a stressful thing, and mixing and mastering, and as we were talking about earlier, just getting that sound and the feeling of not being able to get exactly what you want can be tough. So I think what's most important is just having fun with the process, and that's something I got to remind myself a lot.
Yeah. So what's the path? What is the way that you want to take this forward? What is your optimal progression for your career as a musician?
Yeah, that's tough. I'm also a full-time social worker. I work in the healthcare field, and but I do this mostly like in the evenings and on the weekends.
Okay. So
it's something where I think it's just always been a part of me. Since I was I have songs back all the way back to like 2006, 2007, and I found that as I got older, I never really stopped songwriting. I never really stopped recording. So I thought, why not just start releasing stuff, and I think I just want to keep writing and keep releasing new music, hopefully an album in the next year or so. So basically, I think just keeping with the flow.
I get it. I like it. The main goal is having an outlet for those songs that are inside of you, and
yeah, absolutely.
You create them, you put them out there in the universe, and whatever happens after that, it will be welcome, whatever it is, right? With open arms.
Absolutely. Yeah, if I get like one person that listens to it and like, this is pretty good, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
My expectations aren't too high, but it's just something that I can't help but, keep doing, and it's just become a big part of me.
Yeah, I think it's very commendable. It elevates you as a musician to do it this way, just because you have songs in you and you want to let them out into the outside for whatever comes. If it makes a difference in somebody's life after listening to it, it's enough. And this is exactly what we want to promote and encourage and empower. My opinion, this is an authentic artist, a true artist.
Oh, well, thanks so much. That's so nice of you to say. Yeah, I think it's like a big part of self-care, just like nurturing those things inside of us, those skills that we have that maybe we've done since we were kids that we might have forgotten about, or things that we might have put down. Something that I just want to keep picking back up, and it's just sublimization. Putting down my feelings in songs and trying to heal that way, as well as get different messages out.
Fantastic. Okay, this is GregKasper, spelled with a K, Kasper. The song is On Your Side, and truthfully, wonderful conversation, a very, very beautiful soul, creating wonderful songs for you. And if you were to select appropriate advice for your younger self, what do you think that'd be?
I'd say just there's so much oversaturation of content. I mean, so many talented people now able to release their music, and with that, I think it comes a lot of hesitation, self-doubt, insecurity, just seeing all these really talented people. And I think it's just really important to remember that it's like more for what makes you happy, and saying what you have to say, and enjoying the process, rather than thinking, what are people going to think of this? Like, there's always going to be people out there that love it. There's always going to be people that might not, but it's about you at the end of the day. So at least that's how I like to look at it.
Absolutely. Wise words. GregKasper, once again, thank you very much for having the time for us, and we truthfully hope to stay in touch with you and follow your music. Really, really worth to listen. Again, thank you very much. Until the next one, all the best.
Thank you, Antoine. Really appreciate it.
Okay, so we're gonna enjoy a little bit more of On Your Side. And this is GregKasper. Till the next one.
Always on your
music that makes you feel meh. Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.